Google is finally moving on from their classic pastry names and rebranding Android Q to something else entirely. Apple is considering adding BOE to their OLED supplier list, and this might actually hurt Samsung. And some patents show that Samsung is working on a clamshell foldable, and it's going to be completely different to the Galaxy Fold. I'm Jaime Rivera, and I thought we were going to be celebrating today with a pastry, actually eating it, but I guess that's not the case. Let's cover the news. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, not with the most popular product, but I know that there are some of you out there that are actually interested in the Mac Mini. As it turns out, the current entry-level 2018 3.6 GHz 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of SSD variant is available for $699, which is pretty much a discount of $100 when you compare it to every other retailer. There are also some deals on B&H, not as substantial as the one that you can find on Amazon. You can learn more about them in the description. Now let's talk about Google as, it seems that the company is finally working on revamping their Google Home Mini, which I feel has been in a substantial need for a change in a while. Apparently it would be called the Nest Mini and would be the same size or probably a bit larger. It will have better audio quality, a wall mount option, proximity awareness, new color variants, and a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is weird. The proximity sensor would work in different cases, an example being it showing you current volume when you walk past it. And the reason I say weird is because they're killing the headphone jack off everything else, but they want to add it in the Mini. Like, what are you going to do auxiliary connectivity for? But we do see it in Amazon devices, and I just hope they get the wall mount right, because I've used third-party Amazon options. Those sound terrible. It seems that these speakers, they require the table to provide some of the acoustics. Now let's talk about Vivo. The company pretty much innovated with the whole pop-up camera that's now becoming kind of ubiquitous in certain companies from China and other parts of Asia. Now it seems that there's something coming. The company's product manager just teased the 2019 Vivo Next and Vivo Next 3 on Weibo, and it features a waterfall screen that we saw a while back. Now in the picture, we see the display that doesn't really go as far as we expected, though we don't necessarily know if this is because it's using a case or something. Other rumors for this phone include 5G support, a headphone jack, and a 44-watt charger in the box, which is great. I just hope it's not the same titanic size of the Vivo Next 2, I think it was the one that I reviewed. It was insanely large. Now, for those of you that are in the market for a Moto RAZR, it seems that, Moto is not going to be the only company building one. Sammy is going to do so, but, we'll see. The thing is, even though the Galaxy Fold is not out yet, we get a new patent for the Samsung Foldable device that would compete with the Moto RAZR, and, this follows a report from Samsung's R&D department about a 6.2-inch clamshell foldable a while back, but this patent is for a 6.7-inch display. It would also have an external display for notifications, and I also hope that it has a launch date, as we're expecting for the Galaxy Fold, which I've totally forgotten about ever since the Note launched. Now let's talk about Apple as we're still expecting some dates or something for the next generation iPhone, and we also hear possible changes in suppliers that might not necessarily happen now, but that could be hurting competition. Looks like the company is closing a deal with Chinese manufacturer BOE, and this would be for OLEDs. When Apple released the iPhone X, Samsung was the only reliable company that could provide flexible OLEDs for these phones. The company is now in the final stages of testing of BOE displays for their phones and will decide by the end of this year. This could totally hurt Samsung as well, as Apple is one of their major display customers. We'll see if BOE makes the displays for the 2020 iPhones. I don't think it's going to happen right now, and I wonder where LG is in all this mix. And finally, the hottest news today was completely unexpected. I sort of knew that there was going to be an announcement of the pastry name for the next generation of Android, but it turns out that it's not a pastry name. The company is finally moving on from this whole mentality and renaming Android Q simply Android 10. The company also made some adjustments to the robot logo and the font, which is now simply black and with a cleaner option of fonts. This rebrand is built for Android's new decade, and busy features in addition to the fact that it's changing form factors, foldables, TVs, and others. The company also decided to move on from pastries because, it's not universal according to them, and they're obviously running out of letters to be able to name these. So in today's question, let us know, what do you think about Android 10? And what do you think about the rebrand? Because in my case, it's funny. OS 10, which Apple moved away from. It's now Mac OS. And then it came to Windows 10, and now we've got Android 10. I mean, really? Like, we can't come up with something a little more original? I feel that. I do not like the black text with a green logo. I feel that it contrasts not necessarily the best with a white background, but that's just me. I would love to know what you think in the comments down below, and if there are some web designers, I would even love to know more about your opinion when it comes to this. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channels English and Spanish for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see as I test these phones. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.